championship game. Let's welcome the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Let's welcome the Beckley Flying Eagles. Introducing Martinsburg's head coach, Dave Rogers, and Beckley's head coach, Dave Barksdale. For Martinsburg, assistant coach Gary Shook. For Beckley, assistant coaches Butch Freeman and Bob Bolin. The support staff for Martinsburg, Robbie Springler, Jeff Carter, and Cooter Shook. Support staff for Beckley, Dave May, Click Bandy, Kevin Maupin, Steve Webb, Jesse Terry, Georgiana Grove, and Janelle McKinney. The Lions Club host for Martinsburg is Ken Waldeck. Lions Club host for Beckley is Rat Thumb. Now introducing the squads. For Martinsburg, number 13 is Troy Feltner. For Beckley, number 12, Brian Neighbors. For the Bulldogs, number 14, J.R. Fox. For the Flying Eagles, number 20, Daniel Oberdorf. From Martinsburg, number 20, David McKenzie. From Beckley, number 24, Ted Anderson. For the Bulldogs, number 23 is Eric Johnson. For the Flying Eagles, number 30 is Sean Anderson. From Martinsburg, number 25, James Domenico. From Beckley, number 40, Judd Rutledge. For the Bulldogs, 34, Jason Johnson. For the Flying Eagles, number 42, Dwayne Reed. And from Martinsburg, 35, Scott Lynch. And from Beckley, 50, Victor Davis. Now the starting lineups. For Martinsburg, a 6'1 junior, number 24, Freddie Ferguson. For Beckley, 6'2 senior, number 14, Brian Kidd. For the Bulldogs, at 6'2 was senior, number 22, Smokey Grantham. For the Flying Eagles, a 6'4 senior, number 34, Kevin English. From Martinsburg, 6'4 a senior, number 31, Anthony Dokes. From Beckley, 6'2 senior, number 32, Chris Daniels. For the Bulldogs, a 6' senior, number 44, Spencer Ferguson. For the Flying Eagles, a 6'6 junior, number 44, Glenn Staples. And for Martinsburg, at 5'8, a senior, number 32, Marcellus Basie. For Beckley, 6'2 senior, number 22, Tink Brown. We ask you to stand now for the singing of our national anthem by Nitro High School student Rebecca Robert.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight
It's game time. The tip-off in 1 minute after we hear this message from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of West Central, West Virginia.
Here's important news for employers who want to cut down the paperwork on group insurance and still give your employees the nation's #1 health care coverage. It's no fuss, no forms coverage from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Parkersburg. And it means you'll never have to handle another long, complicated claim form. Call us about no fuss, no forms group coverage from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Parkersburg. 1-800-344-5514. When time is money, it can mean big savings.
Bobcat basketball, often a national NAIA title contender, is part of a winning tradition at West Virginia Wesleyan College. At West Virginia Wesleyan, 17 varsity sports for men and women take their place beside business, engineering, and music and the arts in liberal education. It's a winning combination, and it creates one of the finest settings for learning in the eastern United States. Bobcat basketball at West Virginia Wesleyan College. The tradition continues.
The 1990 West Virginia Class AAA Basketball Championship continues now from the Charleston Civic Center Coliseum. Once again, here's Tony Caridi.
We're all set to go. The Martinsburg Bulldogs wearing their black uniforms. Beckley in their white. Anthony Dokes will jump it off against Glenn Staples. Our referee tonight is George Pack. The umpire is Ron Christie. They both hail from the Southern Board. George Pack steps in between of two big centers. The ball's in the air. The tip is controlled by the Martinsburg Bulldogs in the backcourt. Marcellus Basie attacking from right to left. The diminutive point guard, watched by Brian Kidd. Inside feed goes to Smokey Grantham. He lays it up and in. First two of the night. Here's a steal on the pressure from Martinsburg. In the front court, Freddie Ferguson. Deep corner, Spencer. Now inside feed, Fred Ferguson off the glass. His shot won't fall. Rebound comes down to Chris Daniels of Beckley. Here come the Flying Eagles. A pass down the floor intended for Staples. Knocked out of bounds by Freddie Ferguson. And Beckley will inbound from underneath their own bucket. 29 seconds gone by. Martinsburg leads it 2-0. Kevin English throws into Glenn Staples, deep right corner. He's watched there by Fred Ferguson. Starts to the bucket, jump pass. Back to English. Baseline jumper is good, about 6 feet away. Kevin English, who had 29 points last night. Quickly, here comes Martinsburg. Anthony Dokes, 15-footer right side. Bingo, all net.
And he can hit that shot. Good penetration. Eyes up. Here's the pressure by Martinsburg.
Tink Brown up to midcourt. Looks for some help. Goes over on the far side to Kevin English. English now looks at a double team, goes deep left corner. Daniels tries a three, too strong. Rebound, Staples, baseline shot off the side of the rim. Rebound knocked around. Freddie Ferguson has it taken away by Daniels. His shot won't go off the glass. Finally, Freddie Ferguson clears. Here comes Martinsburg. Ferguson, deep left corner to his brother Spencer. He fires a jumper, air ball, rebound underneath. Grantham forces up the shot, and they're going to call him on an offensive foul.
Boy, he didn't use his body real well. He had a great opportunity, had a smaller man against him. Smokey Grantham is a real key in this game for Martinsburg. Outstanding player, but whether he can run the court against the Beckley pressure is something to be seen.
4-2. Martinsburg on top. The Bulldogs have not played particularly well early on in either of their two games here in the tournament. Kevin English on the far side. Into a double team. Has the ball stripped away by Basie. Here comes Marcellus behind the back over midcourt. Basie to the top of the circle. Driving. Firing up a shot off the glass. Good. What a beautiful shot by Basie. He was out of control. He was falling backwards, and he scores it. 6-2 Bulldogs. Here comes Brian Kidd at midcourt. Double team. Looking to get some help. Goes back to English, up ahead to Tink Brown. Got away with a travel. Far side hash mark. Brown, jump pass, left side. Daniels alone tries a three. No good. Ball high off the backboard. Tipped out of bounds by Spencer Ferguson, and Beckley will have possession.
Brian Kidd is a real key for Beckley, Tony, because against that pressure, Brown will try to find him in the front court with a foul line extended where he's wide open. He's had 2 cracks at it.
Inbounds goes to Chris Daniels, deep left corner. Started tightly chest to chest by Spencer Ferguson. Nice entry pass inside to Staples. He shoots it off the glass and scores. First two for Glenn Staples. 6-4 ball game. Martinsburg with the ball in the lead. Entry pass inside to Grantham. Between his legs, stolen by Chris Daniels. His pass down the floor to Staples. He tracks it down deep left corner. Looks for some help. Goes up top to Tink Brown. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Rebound. Grantham after it. Daniels comes away with it. Baseline shot is there for Chris Daniels, his first field goal. And we've got ourselves a tied ball game at 6-all. 5 minutes and 25 seconds to play in this first period. Marcellus Basie out between the rings. Comes up high, left of the circle, the pass to Dokes. Dokes now fires over far side to Spencer Ferguson, to brother Freddie. Inside entry pass Grantham. His pass tried to come back up top with it. Firing underneath, he hit the backside of the backboard, and that's a turnover, the 4th against Martinsburg.
Beckley in a man-to-man defense, and they are a great helping defense on the inside. They really help on the weak side.
Here comes Tink Brown, guarded by Dokes into the deep right corner behind the back. Now he comes back up top with his dribble. Pulls up on it, one bounce into the corner to Staples. Staples, cross-court pass. Daniels will try a 3. On the way, no good. Rebound, Anthony Dokes. Beckley is not shooting as well as they did early last night. Here's Marcellus Basie down the other end, tries a 3, left side. No good, but after the shot was released, a whistle and a foul call. Basie went down on the play after releasing, and Basie is fouled with 4:47 left in this first period.
The last 2 times down, Marcellus Basie has felt the contact. Once the shot has been released, he put this first one in. The second one here, he was pushed and the foul was called.
Contact made after the shot. Martinsburg inbounds. Grantham will try one. Deep left side, no good. Spencer Ferguson underneath, follows it up, around, and in.
Very quick move on the inside by Spencer Ferguson.
Great offensive rebound there. Martinsburg on top by 2. Underneath all alone, Staples goes up, and he is fouled on the play by Smokey Grantham. The shot does not fall, but Glenn Staples will step up to shoot 2.
Great pass that time by Tink Brown, and he has the ability, when he's double teamed, Tony, he has that size to look over his double team, and he can find his people because he's always facing, he knows where the other 4 people are in the court.
Dave Rogers will make a substitution. Freddie Ferguson will go out. David McKenzie will come in. McKenzie played well last night over Wheeling Park. He had 11 points. Foul shot up by Staples is good.
This is an early move. Probably made a mistake in the substitution. Probably was supposed to come in for Grantham.
Yeah, he did. So Freddie Ferguson did not even get a chance to sit down on the bench. He goes right over to the scorer's table, and now he comes back in, and Smokey Grantham goes out with those 2 fouls. Second foul shot by Staples, not there. Martinsburg with the ball, leading 8-7. Here's marvelous Marcellus Basie up high, driving to the bucket, shot on the way, good off the glass. He went right up against Glenn Staples at 6'6", and Basie at 5'8" scores it.
Off to a quick start, Marcellus Basie.
Tink Brown comes over on a pass to Kevin English to the far side, back over to Tink. Brown now working, slicing, shooting. Too strong off the back iron. Rebound Dokes. Here comes Martinsburg with a 3-point lead. Freddie Ferguson fires up top to Basie. Basie stutter steps in the paint. Pass to Dokes. Baseline jumper, good.
Boy, Dokes has the ability. He knows when Marcellus penetrates, he gets himself open for that little baseline jumper.
This is the best Martinsburg has played early in the tournament. They lead by 5, 12-7. Brown, entry pass to Staples. Baseline shot, no good off the side of the rim. Rebound McKenzie. McKenzie gives back to Freddie Ferguson. Ferguson quickly up the floor to the top of the circle, pulling up, 16-footer on the way, good. 14-7. Martinsburg is playing like Beckley did early last night. They're shooting and hitting. Up top, Ryan Kidd takes the ball high near midcourt. Passes over to Kevin English. English starts to the bucket. Scoop shot, contact made. We've got a foul call against the Bulldogs with 3:08 left.
Early observation. Beckley is not very patient. Give Martinsburg credit for coming out in that pressure defense 3/4 court after the score, because Beckley, once they break it, Tony, they're not taking real good shots against the pressure.
We've got an official's timeout on the floor with 3:08 to play in this first quarter. Martinsburg leads Beckley 14-7. Exclusive Metro News coverage of the 1990 state tournament is being brought to you in part by One Valley Bank.
My granddaughter's got her whole life ahead of her. And I really want her to have some of the advantages I never had. My husband and I felt the same way about her mother. So we always put away what we could for her future. I guess our granddaughter is that future.
For everyone who's ever dreamed they could make a difference, now there's one bank that can help. One Valley Bank, the one bank for all of West Virginia. Member FDIC.
Choose your destination. The University of Charleston has the distinction of being the first private university in West Virginia. Also, we can offer you a low student-teacher ratio, successful NAIA Division II athletics, and more than 40 academic majors. Look for UC's display at the high school basketball tournament and make plans to visit campus while you're in town. Call admissions at 357-4750 for more information. The University of Charleston. You can get there from here.
Martinsburg has made 7 of its first 11 shots. On the other side, Beckley has made just 3 of their first 11 shots. The Flying Eagles 27% from the field as Glenn Staples inbounds underneath the Beckley bucket. Looks to get it in, lobs it into English, back to Staples. Baseline shot is there.
Another early key. Martinsburg out rebounding Beckley 8-3 early.
David McKenzie down the other end has his shot slapped off the backboard by Staples. Coming out with it, it's English. That could be a turning point. Here's English driving, shooting from 14, good.
Well, you don't want to warm him up.
Last night, Staples had a great block off of an attempted dunk, and that got Beckley going. 14-11, Macy will try a 3, no good. Rebound fought for, McKenzie can't hold on. Basie comes up with it, pass over left side, Ferguson on the way, jumper won't go. Rebound, Chris Daniels. 3-point ball game, Martinsburg leads it, Beckley has the ball. Daniels to Tink Brown. Brown down the baseline, 16-footer, no good. Rebound, McKenzie. Outlet, Spencer Ferguson. Spencer will slow it down to a trot as the Bulldogs set their offense, leading by 3. Bounce pass, deep right corner, Spencer Ferguson drives the baseline, has a hole, shot up, no good. Ball tipped out, Marcellus Basie chases it down, near side, quarter court. Deep corner, Freddie Ferguson, shot on the way, no good. Rebound, Dokes, shoots it, misses. Freddie Ferguson gets it back, and he is fouled. With exactly 2 minutes to play in this opening quarter, Freddie Ferguson will step up to shoot 2.
Real good job in the offensive boards that time by Martinsburg, and it's very evident early that Dokes can play with Beckley's big boys on the inside. Great leaping ability, has a knack for finding that basketball. Anthony Dokes is a talented player.
Foul against Kevin English, his first. Foul shot on the way for Freddie Ferguson, no good. Freddie had 13 points last night in that victory over Wheeling Park. 14-11 is our score. The Bulldogs lead by 3. Second shot by Freddie Ferguson, no good. Dokes after the tip-in. Spencer comes after it. Loose ball on the floor, taken down by Kevin English. Here he comes flying down the floor. Driving, shooting, contact made. Foul call against the Bulldogs as Kevin English goes down hard. And coming up the court slowly, it's Glenn Staples. Jay, he was shaken up.
Well, he was on the inside, a lot of contact. I think he took an elbow right down to the side of the face and just knocked him to the floor and dazed him.
Foul against Marcellus Basie is his first. 4th team foul against the Bulldogs. Kevin English is having himself a tremendous tournament as he swishes the first foul shot. He had 28 in the first game, 29 last night over Logan.
This gets into a foul shooting contest. Beckley, the much better foul shooting club.
English's second shot is there, and we've got ourselves a 1-point ball game, 14-13. Basie flies up the floor, tries a long 3, good!
Well, you saw him looking at the hoop right over the midcourt.
That one came from just right of the circle. Marcellus Basie has 7 points. Bulldogs pressuring. Chris Daniels for Beckley. In a trap. Looks for help. We've got a whistle and a foul call against the Bulldogs.
Boy, Tony, on that double team, they had a great double team in there. Martinsburg did, and they had the other passing lanes covered. Only problem, you don't want to reach in. And that's exactly what happened. That's why the foul was called. A good call.
Smokey Grantham will come back into the ball game. He'll replace Anthony Dokes, who's off to a good start.
Boy, watch it right here. A 4-point lead for Martinsburg, but Dokes out of the ball game. Grantham has to play in the middle there. We'll see what happens.
Chris Daniels' foul shot, no good. That was a front end of the 1-and-1. Ball in play. Here comes Basie pulling up, shot off the glass, in and out, no good. Rebound, Staples. That last foul call was against Anthony Dokes. He has 2, and so he goes to the bench. Here's Daniels trying a 3, right side, air ball, no good. Chased down by English. English starts to the bucket. He fires one up. It won't go. Miss is taken down. We've got a whistle underneath and a foul call against Beckley. Going after the missed shot of Kevin English. Len Staples was running after the ball and contact was made. They're going to call the foul against English.
Well, when you take a bad shot out there, you put your other people in bad rebounding position, and more than not, you'll come up and get a foul against you.
Beckley on the dribble jog up the floor. Hash mark near side, works off a pick, jump pass into Grantham. Grantham in the paint, loses the ball, brings it back out. Now he sets up, spots up from 15, shoots no good, but he's fouled. Now Smokey Grantham and Marcellus Beckley have been working a play all season long. Grantham comes up to the top of the circle, sets a pick, then rolls down the lane. Beckley finds him. That time, Beckley put the pass in there. Grantham couldn't hold on, moves himself back out of the paint, sets up, fires from 15, and he was hacked. We'll call it against Chris Daniels. That's his first, and Grantham steps up to the foul line for the first time tonight, shooting 2.
And what that little screen does, Tony, it draws both of the defensive men towards Beckley, and that's how Grantham gets freed up right in the paint, and he's a good shooter from there.
Grantham misses the first foul shot. Second one on the way, no good. The Bulldogs are 0 for 4 from the free throw line. There's your point right there, Jay.
Yeah, it is. I think they're just don't hit the foul shots they need to hit. Ooh.
Down the other end, Tink Brown fires from 17 along the right baseline. That's the first 2 tonight for Tink Brown. Beckley comes down the other end between the legs, driving, passing off to McKenzie. McKenzie left wing, Grantham. His shot, good! Just inside the three-point arch. Smokey Grantham scores it. 19-15, Martinsburg by 4. 25 seconds and counting in this opening quarter. Brown, entry pass inside to Brian Kidd. Cross court, Kevin English. English down the lane, firing and scoring.
Nice move that time as he beat Freddie Ferguson into the paint.
Beckley wastes no time. He's driving down the left side. Shot is up, no good. Rebound, Spencer Ferguson. He throws it back up. It won't fall. Out of the pack comes Tink Brown, and he is fouled on his way up the floor. That comes with just 4 seconds to play in our first period, and now we've got a technical foul call against Spencer Ferguson. Reacting to the foul call, official Ron Christie slaps him with a tee.
And that goes all the way back to the move by Ferguson maybe 5-10 seconds ago when he made his move to the basket. He thought he was fouled, Tony. Then he came back and created the foul, which led to the technical. Not a smart play.
Tink Brown will go to the foul line. He'll have 2 technical foul shots coming up to be followed by a 1-and-1.
Boy, and how many times do you see that pick up a team where they get an opportunity like that to cash in off of technicals and get possession of the basketball? It's the momentum that sometimes teams need.
Makes the first. Second one on the way there. Okay, now we've got ourselves a tied-up ball game as a result of that technical. And now Brown will shoot the 1-and-1. Martinsburg still does not have... Let me check myself. The 1-and-1 went first. Now the technical foul shot.
Now a 1-point lead for Beckley. They're going to get the ball left. There's only 4 seconds on the clock, so it also gives them a time to set up a play.
Foul shot is up and good. Second one is up, no good off the front of the rim. So I correct myself. The 1-and-1 was shot first, followed by the technical. And he makes 3 out of 4 of those foul shots, and as a result, Beckley takes the lead back at 20-19. Now the inbounds play for Beckley from midcourt. Staples looks to get it in. Does so in the backcourt. It's stolen by Eric Johnson to Brown. 1 second. Beckley fires from midcourt, and we've got a whistle and a foul at the horn. Beckley put up a desperation heave from midcourt as the horn sounded, and he was absolutely crushed across the arms. And Marcellus Beckley will walk to the foul line with no time showing on the clock. He'll have 2 foul shots coming up. That foul call against Tink Brown, and that's one he would like to have back.
Oh, I'm sure he would have, because both going after the basketball, the time had almost run out.
Foul shot by Beckley, good. Beckley has 8 points. And he ties the game back up to 20. Second one is up and in. So you have an interesting way to start off your first period of action. Martinsburg leads 21-20. This is the Metro News Radio Network.
in the Martinsburg lineup, 31, Anthony Dokes.
Martinsburg leads this AAA championship game after one quarter, 21-20. Tony Caridi along with Jay Jacobs.
Well, again, Beckley shooting 39%, Martinsburg 41%, but the rebounding a key. Martinsburg 15-10, Tony.
Entry pass inside to Brian Kidd. Along the baseline finds Staples, goes to the bucket, shoots it up. Too strong, had a fairly easy shot. He put too much on it. Basie quickly down the floor to Freddie Ferguson. 15-footer on the fly, around, no good. Tipped around, taken down by Tink Brown. Brown starts up the floor behind the back, has the ball tipped away by Basie. It goes to Martinsburg. Last touch by Brown. Little Marcellus Basie came over from behind and stuck his hand in there, knocked the ball off of Brown. Martinsburg will have possession. That's the third turnover against Beckley. Last night they committed 3 turnovers in the entire game against Logan. Up high, Anthony Dokes takes the ball. He's out there with 2 fouls. Now to Smokey Grantham. 3-pointer on the way, right side, no good. Dokes for the tip and it won't go. Rebound, yanked down by Beckley. Chris Daniels has it. He starts up the floor. Daniels playing out there with a stress fracture. Lead pass ahead to Tink Brown, driving down the lane, has the ball stripped away. After the floor he goes, rolls over and out of bounds. It goes to Martinsburg. They say no, they'll go to Beckley. Kevin English will inbound for the Bulldogs, or excuse me, for the Flying Eagles. Martinsburg fans are very upset with that call. Inbounds comes to Daniels. Now to English, deep right corner. Starts in a couple steps, pulls up on the dribble, tosses back to Daniels. Daniels now fires over far side. Brown left alone, 3-pointer. No good. Rebound. Knocked away. Freddie Ferguson has it. Lead pass ahead to Marcellus Basie. Bounce pass right side. Eric Johnson's baseline jumper no good. Grantham follows it up and in from the left side.
Grantham got excellent side position. Ran the court well and got real good coming in on the left side. Tipped it up and in.
23-20 Martinsburg. 6:40 to play in this opening half as Brian Kidd works against Marcellus Basie at the top of the circle. Pass back to Staples. 3-pointer from out front. Good. Nice shot there by 6'6" Glenn Staples. He's got 8 points and ties the game up at 23. Basie down the other end, working at the bucket to our left. Jump pass, beauty inside, reverse layup, Grantham, in and out, no good. Dokes rebounds, finds Johnson. Johnson puts Staples up, shoots, no good. We've got a whistle and a violation call against Martinsburg. Traveling is the call.
Too many steps inside, Tony, off the move. He went in amongst the big guys, then popped out, but one too many steps on the way in.
23 all. 6 minutes and 16 seconds to play in this first half as Tink Brown holds up at quarter court near side. Lob pass inside to English along the baseline, drives against Grantham, forces one up and in. Boy, he is shooting so well. Kevin English now with 10 points in this first half.
Martinsburg using a lot of switching defense. They played some zone, but start the game now in their man defense, and Beckley's reading it well. Against that man, they go inside, Tony.
Right wing, Ferguson lobs to Grantham, shot up, no good. Rebound, Dokes, he puts it up, good, plus the foul. Great offensive rebounding work by Martinsburg's Anthony Dokes, who scores his 6th point and will step up for a foul shot. He'll have a shot for a 3-point play. Glenn Staples whistled on that foul. That is his first of the ball game, and that field goal by Dokes ties us back up at 25.
Well, Dokes is a good jumper, has great hands, never brings the basketball down, and he can jump inside with Staples. That's a good match going on the inside. I think one thing, Grantham is getting a lot of open shots here last 2 or 3 minutes and not been able to knock them down.
Foul shot by Dokes is up, good. So he has the 3-point play and gives his team the lead back 26-25 with 5:48 to go in this first half of action.
Martinsburg with that pressure, 3-quarter court.
Kidd finds Brown, right wing, 3-pointer up, no good, in and out. Rebound, Grantham, lead pass, Basie. Basie up the floor to the top of the circle. No look pass to Spencer Ferguson. He couldn't hold on. Here comes Beckley down the other end. Brown, top of the circle, driving to the bucket, shot on the way, off the glass, good. And here we go. Basie down the other end to Dokes. Dokes drives, shoots, and scores.
He can't run the court, Tony. Got down beautifully that time.
28-27. Martinsburg by a point. 5 minutes and 13 seconds to play in the first half of this AAA championship game. Glenn Staples could not reach up to a pass thrown too high by Brian Kidd along the far side of the floor. Turnover against the Flying Eagles. and Martinsburg will take the ball over.
Excellent job that time. Martinsburg with their pressure, not bringing in the front court. Basie quarterbacking the club.
Grantham right side tries a three. Good! What a shooting half Smokey Grantham is having.
Getting real good shots.
9 points for Grantham. Martinsburg by 4, 31-27. Up high, Brian Kidd to Staples. He tried to go up, he lost the ball. Basie steals. Basie, left side of the circle, tries a three. No good. Off the back iron. Rebound, Spencer Ferguson. He'll set up the Martinsburg offense. Drives the baseline, pass up top to Marcellus Basie. Basie back to Spencer. His lob pass inside to Dokes. Dokes squares up, finds Grantham. 11-footer, left side, no good. Rebound, Staples. Outlet, Tink Brown. Into the front court he comes against Basie. Three-pointer up, good.
Tony, right now, Martinsburg a little bit quicker.
Down the other end, Spencer Ferguson drives, shoots, no good. Basie follows it up and scores it. The littlest man on the floor came down on the trail, took the miss up with one hand and hit it for his 11th point, 33-30. Martinsburg. We approach the 4-minute mark. Daniels will try a three from out left. Good! Chris Daniels of Beckley scores his first three and ties the game up at 33. Basie down the other end from outside. No good. Too strong. Bad shot. Rebound Brown. Here comes Beckley with a chance to take the lead back. Daniels will try a three from out front. Good!
Well, you better find where he is right now. He's a streak shooter. You better recognize him right away.
Dave Rogers takes a timeout as his team drops by 3. 36-33 our score with 3:41 to play in the half. With a break in the action, let's take a moment to hear from the few, the proud, the Marines.
Lethal is one way to describe him. Fearless is another. But that's his nature. You can sense the danger. You can see it in his eyes, if you can see him at all. Because he's a master at the art of camouflage. He's a Marine, and he's one of a kind, part of an elite corps few can join. But if you'd like to give it a try, call 1-800-MARINES. We're looking for a few good men.
Excellence, success, West Virginia Tech. Your future may depend on the college you choose. So shouldn't you choose the college that has your future in mind? West Virginia Tech is a career-oriented college with a commitment to excellence, a commitment that will give you the competitive edge for your future. So whether you choose business, liberal arts, or high technology, choose West Virginia Tech. Excellence, success, West Virginia Tech.
36-33, Beckley leads Martinsburg with 3 minutes and 41 seconds to play in the first half of this Class AAA championship game. Dave Rogers took a timeout there. I think, Jay, just to tell his team to slow it down a little bit. They came down and took some bad shots.
And conscious of where Daniel's hitting 2 3-pointers, Tony, they might want to change their defense a little bit.
Grantham up front finds Spencer Ferguson, 18-footer up, high off the backboard, no good. Rebound, fought for. Here comes Daniels. Daniels up the floor into the front court. Drives the baseline, lob pass to Staples. He can't catch up with it. Out of bounds, Martinsburg ball.
Well, you talked about Daniels and that stress factor. I think that was evident right there. He just can't kick it out in the free court game. He's a guy that's got to get in an open spot and knock it down. Great three-point range.
Basie up high, works against Kidd. Bounce pass right wing. Spencer Ferguson stripped of the ball. Kidd starts up the floor. Lead pass ahead to English. English drives, shoots and scores. Kevin English has 12. Basie down the floor, tried a lob pass all the way down to Spencer, stolen by Tink Brown. Tink Brown over midcourt. Brown to the top of the circle, right side pass for Kidd, knocked out of bounds. It will belong to Beckley.
Martinsburg trying to get it back or in a real hurry. Has turned it over twice here. It's hurt them.
Kevin English inbounding along the near sideline. Comes into Brown, back to English. He'll try a three. It's up, no good. Rebound taken down by Freddie Ferguson. 38-33. Beckley leads by 5 over Martinsburg. Basie finds Freddie Ferguson up high. Pump fake, shoots it from 15 and scores it.
Set up by Basie, drew the defense towards him, dished it off beautifully. Ferguson for a jumper.
3-point game, 38-35. Tink Brown down the other end, left alone for a three. Fires are off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound followed up by Kidd, it won't go. Tipped out of bounds by Freddie Ferguson. Beckley will have it back inbounding from underneath their basket.
Good job that time by Brian Kidd. Didn't have the good offensive rebounding position, but worked Freddie Ferguson real well.
Staples looks to inbound. Comes inside to Kidd. Kidd watched there by Freddie Ferguson. 2:15 and counting. Daniels left alone. Eyes the three. Doesn't pull. Inside pass to English. Back out to Kidd. He fakes. He shoots from 8 feet away. No good. Rebound tipped out of bounds by Staples. Martinsburg ball.
Beckley a little more patient. That was a 2-3 zone set up by Martinsburg that time. They hit into the area where it's weak, right in the middle. They had a good shot. Didn't get it to go down. Martinsburg shoots quick, Tony, in the half court.
That's an understatement. Basie finds Spencer Ferguson, right wing inside to Grantham. Tough shot. It was partially deflected. Ball taken down by Brian Kidd. Kidd up the floor over midcourt to Staples. His three, right side, no good. Rebound. Smokey Grantham poked out by Daniels. And Martinsburg will have possession of the ball with 1:49 to play in this first half. Bulldogs will take it over, down by 3. Here's Basie up high. Never know when he's going to pull the trigger. Works a pass up high to the top of the circle to Freddie Ferguson. He works right with a pass back up high to Basie. Basie now takes a look at things, comes up top to Dokes, left of the circle. Dokes holds high overhead, bounce pass right of the circle to Grantham. He starts towards the bucket at the foul line, pump fake, shot up, around and in. Smokey Grantham threw that one up with one hand. He now has 11 points. Martinsburg within one of the lead as Tink Brown over at the hash mark far side spins against Spencer Ferguson, drives the baseline, poked out of bounds. It will belong to Beckley. Spencer Ferguson knocked it out over the end line. Kevin English, who has 12 first half points, will inbound the basketball for the Flying Eagles. English takes a look at things. High lob pass to Tink Brown. Three-pointer from out front. No good off the back iron. Rebound. Spencer Ferguson tips to Basie. Basie up the floor. Basie driving right. Head fake between the legs. Scoop shot. No good. We've got a whistle and an offensive foul call against Marcellus Basie, who got out of control on his way to the bucket. Whistled for his second personal with 1:07 to play in the half.
Brian Kidd played that as beautifully as it could be played. He came in on the weak side, got his position, and read the move of Basie and took the charge.
Dave Rogers will make a substitution. Eric Johnson off the bench. He'll replace Marcellus Basie. Dave Rogers will take no chances here with his star point guard with 2 fouls. He'll put him on the bench for the rest of this half. Martinsburg down by a point, 38-37. Here comes Beckley. Tink Brown has got 10 first half points. Crosses the timeline. Guarded there by Spencer Ferguson. Brown up top to Kevin English. English takes a look at the clock. Now under 1 minute to play in the opening half. Works between his legs, starts down the bucket, out of control. Shot is up. We've got a whistle, and we've got a travel call against Beckley's Kevin English. Bulldogs will take the ball back. That's the 7th turnover against the Flying Eagles.
Boy, what a job that time by Freddie Ferguson. He was on his own defensively against one of the finer players attacking the basket in this tournament.
Eric Johnson at the point now. He walks it over midcourt. 40 seconds and counting. Lob pass inside to Dokes. Up high with it to Grantham. Grantham now starts towards the bucket. Pass to Johnson. Baseline shot by Eric Johnson. No good. Tipped up. Won't fall for Dokes. Rebound Daniels. And Daniels is fouled with 29 seconds to play in the half. Will walk down to the far end of the floor and shoot a 1-and-1.
Well, Dokes is big on the inside, but he's got to come out of there now. Dave Rogers doesn't want to take any chances. Nice tip up with the right hand, but he came back down over the body and drew the foul.
Boy, Anthony Dokes could not afford that foul there. He now has 3 fouls, and Dave Rogers has to yank him out of there. David McKenzie will come back in. Chris Daniels steps up to the foul line. A 1-and-1 opportunity. First shot is up, in.
I tell you, Tony, I hate to say it, but Martinsburg playing real small now. They should really hold on to that basketball with 29 seconds left and just go out of here, maybe down 3 at the most. Don't try to get down and force anything up and play one-on-one.
Daniels makes both. Beckley leads by 3, 40-37, 25 seconds and counting in this first half. David McKenzie up high, fires from 16, in and out, no good. Rebound, tipped around. Spencer Ferguson after it, knocks it out of bounds, and Beckley will have possession with 17 seconds to play. You shake your head there, Jay.
Well,
I think McKenzie should have shot that.
I think you just hold on to it. You're playing in there with your 7 and 8, 6, 7, and 8 man. You hold on to the basketball.
Inside. On the inbounds comes Staples. Staples up high with it. Under 10 seconds to play, finds English. English squares up to the bucket, drives the baseline, shot batted out of bounds by Spencer Ferguson. Came from the top and blocked it. With 6 seconds to play, Beckley will inbound. They set up to the right of the lane. Now they screen off of it. The inbound comes to Daniels. Daniels with 4 seconds fires a three from out front. Around the rim, no good. Freddie Ferguson fires it down the floor as the buzzer sounds to end our first half of action. And the Flying Eagles of Beckley, Woodrow Wilson, head into the locker room with a 3-point lead, 40-37. Beckley on top of Martinsburg in our Class AAA championship game. This is the Metro News Radio Network.
By Rax, proud sponsors of the 1990 state tournament. By One Valley Bank, the one bank for all of West Virginia. And by the United States Marines, the few, the proud, the Marines. Again, let's go courtside at the Charleston Civic Center Coliseum as the 1990 West Virginia State Championship continues.
And this is the state championship game in Class AAA. Beckley leads Martinsburg 40-37. Tony Caridi back with Jay Jenkins courtside at the Charleston Civic Center Coliseum. Both teams shooting 38% from the field in our opening half. From the free throw line, however, Woodrow Wilson shot 72%, Martinsburg just 42%. That's something to watch and something else to keep an eye on. The foul situation, Jay. You've got Basie and Grantham for Martinsburg with 2, Anthony Dokes with 3, and just one Beckley player has more than one. That's Kevin English, who has 2 fouls.
Yeah, and Dokes is a big factor. I think he's done a good job in the first half, and they have to have him in there. He's their key rebounder and initiates their break.
That was quite a first half. We had 7 lead changes and 6 ties, and right now Beckley has the lead by 3. Martinsburg has possession of the basketball. And we're underway with our second half. Freddie Ferguson takes it out on the right wing. Up high to the top of the circle to Dokes, to Basie, drives in. Jump pass to Spencer Ferguson. In a crowd, he's called for a walk. Boy, wow. Nice little dump pass inside, and Spencer Ferguson had nowhere to go, and he shuffled his feet.
But that Brian Kidd is so smart. He had a play like that in the first half. He comes right back and gets right into the passing lane of Ferguson and draws the foul.
Martinsburg sets up some pressure, picking up at midcourt. Kevin English working against Freddie Ferguson. Passes over left side of the circle to Tink Brown. Brown over to Daniels. Daniels drives along the left baseline. Looks for some help. Throws up top to Kevin English. English out between the circles. Left side to Chris Daniels. Daniels a couple of dribbles. Now over on the right side to English. He starts towards the bucket. Backing in. Spinning. Double teamed along the baseline. Needs some help. Throws to Glenn Staples. Staples fires left side to Tink Brown. 3-pointer on the way. Good. Beckley's lead now at 6. Down the other end, Smokey Grantham fires from 15. Too strong. Rebound. Tink Brown. Here comes Beckley. They lead by 6. Over to Brian Kidd. He drives in the paint. Inside pass for Glenn Staples underneath the bucket. He lays it up and in behind his head. I mean, he was behind the basket. He turned around and just threw it behind his head and scores it. Here's an alley-oop for Dokes. Couldn't catch up with it. Dokes chases it down, however, in the left corner. His pass back up front, stolen by English. English driving in, down the lane, loses the ball. Basie steals, puts it behind his back once. Crosses over midcourt, goes against Daniels, driving in, ball poked away. Brown steals for Beckley. 45-37 Flying Eagles. Here comes Brown pulling up, 13-footer, no good. Rebound, tipped around. Freddie Ferguson has it. Ferguson, up the floor he comes. Between the legs, brings it out to the middle of the floor. Bounce pass, left side, Dokes in the paint, lays it up and scores it.
Boy, a good interchange there. Not either club starting out real strong, although starting out fast.
Beckley leads by 6. 6 minutes to play in the third quarter. Brown double team, comes to the near side, hash mark to Daniels. Cross court pass, English. Deep right corner, Kidd along the baseline, shoots and draws the foul. Took a couple steps along the baseline, went up strongly, and the foul will go against Martinsburg. See who they call it on here. Basie, that's his third. And that comes with 5:57 to play in this third quarter, and Marcellus Basie very dejected as he walks back down the floor. Grabs a towel from the Bulldog bench, shakes his head.
Beckley's done a much better job in the second half of tilting the Martinsburg defense. They swing the ball side to side, 3 or 4 passes. After they break the Martinsburg pressure, they really have found the holes in attacking the basket, and it's paid off.
Brian Kidd's first foul shot no good. His second one is there. First point of the night for Kidd. And Beckley leads by 7, 46-39. Under 6 minutes to play in this third quarter. Dokes pops out high to take it. Fires right side to Grantham. Three-pointer up. No good. Rebound hauled down by Tink Brown. Brown starts up the floor. Guarded there by Marcellus Basie. Left wing pass, Brian Kidd. He drives in, passes it outside to English. Deep right corner, Daniels tries a three. No good. Air ball. Rebound, Grantham. Grantham behind the back. Up the floor to Basie. Basie on the near side. Pulls up. 8-footer. Good.
Well, they ran it well that time, Tony. They got the ball in the guy's right hand. And Basie coming down the right side with a jumper.
46-41. Beckley leads by 5 with 5:18 to play in the third quarter. Here's Brian Kidd. Left alone. Fires from 15. Good.
Tony, they've solved it. Dave Rogers might have to make a little change there defensively.
Basie comes down the other end, tries a three. Slightly right of the circle, no good. Rebound, Beckley. Chris Daniels hauls it down. A 7-point Bulldog deficit. Here comes Brian Kidd. Eyes up a three, has the ball stolen away by Spencer Ferguson. Ferguson down the floor. Ferguson driving in, left-handed layup, good. Spencer Ferguson from one end line to the other scores his 4th point. Beckley's lead down to 5, 48-43.
Got to get Spencer involved more, especially out of transition to finish it off with a fast break. He does it well.
Brown double teamed at midcourt, gets through it, has the ball knocked around, loses it. Basie steals it. Basie over midcourt. Basie to the top of the circle, has the ball picked away by Chris Daniels, knocked out of bounds. And Martinsburg will have it back.
5-point Beckley lead. Martinsburg with the basketball. Let's see if they're patient in the half court.
Daniels and Basie exchange words. Daniels is talking to Basie, telling him to come on with it. Here's Basie starting to the bucket between the legs, down the lane, jump pass to Grantham underneath. Beautiful feed. He scores it.
He did.
13 points for Grantham. 48-45. That Beckley lead down to 3. Brown over midcourt. Pass right side. Brian Kidd fakes a shot, comes up top to English. He fakes a three, moves into the paint. Jumper on the way, good. English answers right back. Down the other end, here comes Basie by Daniels to the top of the circle. Pass over on the right side to Freddie Ferguson. Ferguson spins, baseline jumper, good. Freddie Ferguson hits his first field goal of the second half, his 6th point of the ball game, and it's 50-47 Beckley. 3:45 and counting third quarter. Brown double teamed by Spencer Ferguson, and Dokes gives off with a pass to Brian Kidd. He'll try a long three. Air ball poked out of bounds by Staples. Martinsburg will have it back with 3 minutes and 37 seconds to play in this third quarter, and officials timeout on the floor. Exclusive Metro News coverage of the 1990 state tournament is being brought to you in part by West Virginia Tech.
If you think a career-oriented education can make a difference in your future, you're right. Just ask any graduate of West Virginia Tech. They'll tell you that the best jobs go to the people who are prepared for them in college. And that's what Tech is all about. Tech is a career-oriented college with your future in mind. So whether you're interested in engineering, printing, computer science, or any of Tech's 63 programs, you can be sure that your future is in good hands. As a West Virginia Tech grad, you'll be in demand. And isn't that what it's all about?
Here's important news for employers who want to cut down the paperwork on group insurance and still give your employees the nation's #1 health care coverage. It's no fuss, no forms coverage from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Parkersburg. And it means you'll never have to handle another long, complicated claim form. Call us about no fuss, no forms group coverage from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Parkersburg. 1-800-344-5514. When time is money, it can mean big savings.
We've got the type of championship game that you really want to see. A very closely contested ball game, back and forth action, and right now Beckley leads it 50-47 over Martinsburg with 3:37 to play in the third quarter. In this third frame, Martinsburg 5 of 8 from the field, Beckley 4 of 7. Here's Basie up high, watched by Brown Kidd. Nice entry pass to Dokes. He pump fakes, shoots, and scores. Anthony Dokes makes it a 1-point game with 3:26 to go in this third frame.
And that's there a lot to play inside the Dokes. He can shoot that turnarounder, but they're not using Martinsburg now in a 1-3-1 zone.
Daniels up high to Kevin English. English near side feed to Tink Brown. Back to English, drives in. Pass underneath Staples. Has his shot rejected by Spencer Ferguson. What a block. Brown takes it down. Baseline jumper, good. And Tink Brown answers it right back. Here comes Basie down the other end, working to the bucket to our right, finds a seam, drives, shoots. His shot rejected off the backboard by Staples. Daniels comes down the floor for Beckley against Freddie Ferguson. He comes across court with a pass to English. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Rebound, Marcellus Beckley. Here comes the count to the top of the circle. Driving. Pass to Dokes underneath. Loose ball on the floor, tied up. Possession arrow points to Beckley.
Boy, Beckley got back great at defensive transition, Tony. Caused Basie. He was looking shot all the way till he got to the foul line, but Beckley helped out, and he threw a apparent pass down at the foot of Ferguson, which he couldn't handle.
Kevin English went down hard on the floor to come up with that loose ball, and he hurt himself on the play. Gets up slowly. He is favoring his right elbow, and the trainer is attending to it now underneath the Martinsburg basket.
You know, it's 40-37 at half, a three-point lead for Beckley. It hasn't changed any in the first 6 minutes of the third quarter. Still a three-point lead for Woodrow Wilson.
Kevin English now will walk across the floor and will head to the Beckley bench. Dave Barksdale, the coach of the Flying Eagles, will have to make a substitution. He'll insert Victor Davis into the lineup, and we'll have to watch that one closely. Kevin English is a very integral part of this Beckley attack. He had 28 in the opening round game, 29 in last night's semifinal, and 14 so far tonight. 6 of 10 from the field tonight for English, and so they'll closely watch that elbow. Beckley has possession of the ball, leading by 3.
He takes good shots, Tony. That's why he has a high percentage. Doesn't force anything.
Hash mark far side. Daniels holds high overhead. A couple of dribbles now. Fires up a 3. No good off the back iron. Rebound. Basie up the floor. Over the timeline to the top of the circle. Right wing pass. Freddie Ferguson. His jumper. Good, plus a foul. What a shot by Freddie Ferguson. Glenn Staples went for the block. Came down hard on his tailbone. Gets up slowly as Freddie Ferguson will have a shot for a three-point play.
You know, Freddie Ferguson has that lanky ability to get open, and he releases at his highest height of his jump shot. I think they need to find him a lot more than what they have been. He's had the last couple buckets. Basie can find him open. He can knock down that jumper, and he has perimeter range to do it, and inside off the dribble to the hoop.
Ferguson at the foul line, a chance to tie the game. He does. 2 minutes and 10 seconds to play in the third quarter. Knotted up now at 52. Tink Brown into the Beckley front court. Works the far side of the floor, guarded by Spencer Ferguson. Brown tries a long 3. Around, no good. Basie again with the rebound. Here comes the littlest man on the floor to the top of the circle, driving the lane. Scoop shot up, no good. Rebound taken down by English, who's back in. English drives the floor against Grantham. Has the ball stripped away by Marcellus Basie, and they're going to call a foul on Basie. That will be his 4th. It comes with 1:48 to play in this third quarter.
Well, one thing with Marcellus Basie that last time down, he really took that ball too far into traffic. He needs to stop at that foul line and dish it off. Now Basie with 4 is going to have to leave the ball game. That was a key last 10 seconds.
Kevin English, who is still fooling with that elbow, will step up to the foul line. He'll have 2.
Tony, I'm not so sure with Basie out of there right now that Martinsburg can't play better because of the fact that Basie has really created a fast tempo game, maybe too fast. If you stop and set up, once you get the ball into the front court, you can get some of the people like Dokes and Freddie Ferguson open.
English makes both foul shots, giving Beckley the lead 54-52. 1:35 now remaining in this third quarter. Johnson up high to Dokes. Remember, Eric Johnson is a guy that can really come in there and do a good job at point guard. He played a lot as a sophomore in the championship game. Freddie Ferguson fires up a shot, no good. Rebound taken down by Tink Brown. Lead pass up the floor to Daniels. His shot is good, plus a foul call. Daniels, and now we've got a technical foul call against Martinsburg. Eric Johnson was incensed with that call, and official George Pack slaps Martinsburg with its 2nd technical foul tonight.
Well, you just can't play the officials. You got to play the game. Eric Johnson comes off for Basie. He's upset, but really it was a good call. He came down the floor and got into a bad position and created the foul. Spencer Ferguson tried to come over and help out. It wasn't there. Johnson fouled him. A big turnaround right here.
Daniels makes the first foul shot. Beckley leads by 5. Now the technical will be shot. First one up and in.
You can't send this club to the foul line like the Martinsburg's been doing, because they can knock it down, and Daniels are going to stay right there, take 2 more, and they're going to get possession of the basketball.
Daniels' next one is up and in. He makes all 3 of the foul shots. That gives Beckley a 59-52 lead, and as Jay mentioned, they'll have possession of the basketball. Beckley has just scored 7 straight points. 1:25 to play here in the third quarter. Daniels on the inbound, 16-footer up, good! Daniels has just scored 7 straight points, and Beckley with his biggest lead of the night now at 9. Spencer Ferguson up top to Anthony Dokes. Bounce pass right wing, David McKenzie. McKenzie now, jump pass left side, Grantham. He'll try a long 3, bad shot, short, rebound Daniels. Daniels starts up the floor. He's out there with a stress fracture. Fakes, looks for some help. Comes up high to English. English starts towards the bucket. Draws a crowd, shot up, no good. Rebound comes down to Martinsburg's Freddie Ferguson. Under 50 seconds to play in the third quarter. Martinsburg down 61-52. Freddie Ferguson up high to Spencer Ferguson against Tink Brown. Right wing pass, Freddie Ferguson. Lob pass inside McKenzie. Fires a pass back up top to Grantham. 3-pointer on the way by Smokey, good.
Boy, nice in-out play that time. Pushed the ball into the baseline at the block and shoved it right outside to Grantham.
6-point Beckley lead. Brian Kidd fakes a shot, comes back up top to Tink Brown. 25 seconds remain in this third quarter. Lob pass all alone underneath English. Fakes, he shoots and scores.
Got behind the defense that time, Tony.
18 points for Kevin English. 63-55. Beckley, Woodrow Wilson on top in this Class AAA championship game. Under 10 seconds now. Freddie Ferguson up at the right wing. Up high to Anthony Dokes. Left side, Spencer Ferguson's 3-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound comes down to McKenzie to Grantham. He can't get the shot off before the buzzer sounds, and Beckley, Woodrow Wilson is now 8 minutes away from a state championship. They lead Martinsburg by 8. 63-55 after 3. This is the Metro News Radio Network. Beckley leads by 8 points with 8 minutes to play in this Class AAA championship game. The Bulldogs with possession of the basketball. Marcellus Basie out with 3 fouls. Smokey Grantham up high. Bounce pass left side. Dokes tries a 16-footer too strong. Rebound tipped around. Comes down to Tink Brown. Tink Brown starts up the floor. Lead pass ahead to Brian Kidd over midcourt. Kidd drives past left side. Daniels fires. Good!
Tony,
that's his...
You wonder if Martinsburg can come back down 10 like this. I think they can, but they've got to have Basie in the lineup. They cannot sit him out any longer.
And here he comes. He'll be in on the next dead ball. Grantham up top, left alone. 3-pointer, good for Smokey Grantham.
Yeah, he can. Basie can get you out going. Now they need that fast-paced game. They're down. They need some creativity.
Tink Brown up high, working right. Fires a high archer up, no good. Rebound comes down to Smokey Grantham. Grantham gives over to Spencer Ferguson. The Bulldogs with the ball, down by 7. Here's Spencer Ferguson, a 3-pointer. Off the rim, no good. Rebound taken down by Staples. Outlet, Tink Brown. Brown down the far side of the floor. To the corner, to the baseline. Shoots it off the glass and scores it. 17 points for Tink Brown. 67-58. Beckley by 9. 6:45 and counting. Ferguson up high. One bounce to Dokes. Dokes holds high overhead. Left side feed to Freddie Ferguson. Baseline jumper by Freddie. Won't go. Rebound. Fought for. Foul call against
Staples.
Beckley.
Yeah.
Staples. That's his 3rd personal. And on that dead ball situation, Marcellus Beckley will come back into the game with 4 fouls. And to the bench, David McKenzie.
Right here is a very crucial point, because I can tell you what Marcellus Beckley is thinking right now. He's thinking, I'm going to shoot us back in. You're going to see him shoot the basketball most of the time coming down the final 6 minutes, I'm
Grantham's three-pointer off the inbound, no good. Daniels with the rebound. We've seen him in this situation before, and Beckley's either going to win it for him or lose it for him. Tink Brown's three from out front, no good. Beckley in the middle of the lane takes the rebound down, starts up the floor over the timeline. To the right side of the circle. Here he goes. Fires a three. In and out. No good. Tough luck shot there. Brown rebounds for Beckley. Brown walks it up the floor. Dave Rogers on one knee, looking concerned. Dave Barksdale barks to his team defense. Ferguson steals out at midcourt, drives in all alone, lays it up and good. Spencer Ferguson just stripped Tink Brown clean. It's a 7-point game with 5:52 to play.
Big basket.
Here's Kevin English, out high, down the lane, pass over right side, Brian Kidd, baseline jumper, no good, rebound strongly, Dokes, outlet Ferguson to Beckley, Beckley down the floor, driving bounce pass, Freddie Ferguson lays it up, no good, Grantham follows it up, that won't go, Beckley chases after the rebound, Beckley on the far side of the floor, fires it up, no good, and he is fouled on the play by Kevin English.
Boy, they had a couple good chances there. They got Beckley at the foul line, but they really had a couple of real good opportunities there to push that lead right into about 5. It's 7 with Beckley at the line.
Timeout taken by Beckley Woodrow Wilson. They lead by 7, 67-60. Marcellus Beckley will be shooting 2 when we return. A great time now to hear from the University of Charleston.
Choose your destination. The University of Charleston has the distinction of being the first private university in West Virginia. Also, we can offer you a low student-teacher ratio, successful NAIA Division II athletics, and more than 40 academic majors. Look for UC's display at the high school basketball tournament and make plans to visit campus while you're in town. Call admissions at 357-4750 for more information. The University of Charleston. You can get there from here.
Lethal is one way to describe him. Fearless is another. But that's his nature. You can sense the danger. You can see it in his eyes, if you can see him at all, because he's a master at the art of camouflage. He's a Marine, and he's one of a kind, part of an elite corps few can join. But if you'd like to give it a try, call 1-800-MARINES. We're looking for a few good men.
Marcellus Beckley is 2 for 2 at the foul line tonight. He's got 2 shots coming up. The Bulldogs are down by 7, 67-60. Beckley on top with 5:28 to play in his Class AAA championship game. Beckley's foul shot is up and in.
And Beckley 5 for 16 from out in the field. Of course, he got 10 rebounders. He has that strength. He has good jumping ability.
Second foul shot by Beckley is there straight through the net. And we've got ourselves a 5-point ball game with 5:28 left. Here comes Tink Brown, picked up by Spencer Ferguson at three-quarter court. Passes over to Kevin English, far side of the floor. English goes up against Freddie Ferguson. Lob underneath to Staples. His shot off the glass, no good. Rebound taken down by Spencer Ferguson. Here comes Martinsburg. Ferguson to the top of the circle, driving in. Pass off Beckley. Shot off the glass is good.
Here they come within 3.
67-64. Brown in the backcourt, bothered by Spencer Ferguson. Races up the floor into the deep right corner. Hemmed in tightly. Pass up top to Brian Kidd. Kidd works a pass left side to Daniels. Daniels fires up a long one. No good. Bad shot. Rebound. Spencer Ferguson up over midcourt. Spencer Ferguson now slows things down. Martinsburg to within 3 of the lead. 4:40 and counting. Beckley between the legs up top to Spencer Ferguson. He'll try a 3. No good. Rebound. Brian Kidd. Here comes the Flying Eagles. Kidd over the timeline to the left of the circle, up high between the rings to Daniels. Now back to Kidd, inside feed to Brown. Brown along the baseline, shoots, no good, but he's fouled on the play by Spencer Ferguson.
When Marcellus Beckley came back in the ballgame with 4 fouls, what Dave Rogers did is put him on Brian Kidd, who handles the ball the least of anybody on the Beckley club, and I think it's been effective. It's kept him loose on the defensive end to rest a little bit, and yet let him take over on the offensive end. A smart move by Coach Dave Rogers.
Tink Brown 3 of 4 at the foul line tonight. First of 2 shots is up and in. Brown now with 18 points in the ball game, and Beckley leads by 4. 4:24 to go in the fourth quarter.
This is point guard time, Tony. This is where Beckley and Brown, the 2 best, will control the basketball game.
Second one by Tink Brown is good. Flying Eagle lead back up to 5, 69-64. Right wing pass over to Spencer Ferguson. Watched by Tink Brown, bounces up high to Dokes. He's left alone. Dokes holds high overhead, bounces back over on the right wing to Freddie Ferguson. Pass underneath to Spencer, lays it up and in. Brother to brother, Spencer Ferguson scores his 8th point, and Martinsburg down by 3 as the Flying Eagles come with Tink Brown. He works at the bucket to our left, all the way down the floor. Shot rejected, gets it back to Daniels. Daniels fires up top to Kevin English. English has the ball nearly stolen. Into the right corner to Brian Kidd. Kidd drives the baseline, clogged up. Pass back up top to Daniels, left alone. Fires over on the right wing to English. English now back up high. Pass inside to Kidd. He squares up. Shot is up, around, no good. Staples lays it up and in. Beautiful offensive putback for Glenn Staples. 71-66 Beckley. Basie wastes no time on the attack. Up high, gets it to Grantham. Grantham fires up a 16-footer, no good. And Dokes slams it back down. 71-68 Beckley by 3. This is the championship game that you want. Flying Eagles on top. 3 minutes and 12 seconds and counting. Kevin English out high against Freddie Ferguson. Spinning, has the ball poked away, gets it back. Now gives up top to Chris Daniels. Daniels from straight away, eyes that 3, works right on the dribble. Into the corner to Glenn Staples. Up top now to Tink Brown. Out between the circles, it's Tink Brown. And Beckley now will spread their offense. Brown against Spencer Ferguson. Starts to the bucket. Slicing, shooting, and drawing the foul with 2:46 left.
Boy, very difficult right here because Coach Barksdale is going to spread that, and he's going to give the ball to Brown every time, and he has a lot of room. He's very, very difficult to handle. His angle towards the basket. Spencer Ferguson's got his hands full. Brown has size on him. Timeout, Dave Rogers of Martinsburg.
Dave Rogers, seeing that Beckley is going to spread their offense out in the final moments, is going to take a timeout to talk things over with his club. Fred Persinger working our roving microphone this evening. Fred?
Thank you, Tony Caridi. With me at courtside, Jimmy Miller, a former star at Princeton High School, University of Virginia. Jimmy, you've been in these AAA championships before.
Yeah, this is, this is exciting. I can reflect back in 1979 and when I was a sophomore, and again in 1981 when I was a senior. And, this is what it's all about at the high school level. Guys coming here to compete at the state championship.
Your thoughts on the two teams out here tonight?
Well, I think Beckley's done a better job up to this point. Obviously, they're up 3 points, but anything can happen with Martinsburg. The way they can trap and create things defensively, they may still have contention in the game, but I think Tink Brown will control it for Beckley, and I think you'll see Beckley winning.
You go down to Princeton High School and you look in the trophy case, you'll see a couple of jerseys hanging down there. One of them belongs to Jimmy Miller, and another belongs to a very famous star down there as well, Rod Thorne.
Exactly right. Rod is, as you know, he's now vice president of the NBA. So there's two there. One of them is mine. Yeah.
Thank you, Jimmy Miller. Back to you, Tony.
And Jimmy offering his prediction on tonight's outcome, 71-68. Beckley on top, and Tink Brown will step up. He'll have 2 shots.
Tony, I think one thing here that Dave Rogers had to get a timeout. You're going to look for him to change defenses. He's not going to stay in that man and let Brown control that out front. He'll probably trap more out of some type of zone, but this is where somebody like Brian Kidd will get open in these seams. We'll see if he can knock down the 3-pointer. Very, very intelligent chess game going on between both coaches.
Brown makes both foul shots. Tink Brown has 21. Beckley leads by 5, 2:40 and counting. Basie along the baseline forces one up. It's good.
Well, he took it to the baseline. He took it more in his range, 2-point range, and rather 3. Good play.
3-point game, 73-70, 2.5 to play. Tink Brown over midcourt, down the lane, finds Daniels, left alone, 17-footer up, good. Chris Daniels with his 21st point steals the ball from Basie, lays it up. It won't go. Rebound Spencer Ferguson. Martinsburg down 5. Spencer Ferguson, flip pass, Freddie Ferguson, corner jumper, no good. Rebound, Daniels goes down on the floor, loses it, gets it to Tink Brown. Brown down to English, he lays it up, slam dunk. Beckley leads by 7. Under 2 minutes to play. Martinsburg is going to take a timeout. A slam dunk by Kevin English off the assist from Tink Brown, which was set up by Chris Daniels, who took the rebound in the lane, fell down, and had the presence of mind to punch the ball ahead to Brown. Tink Brown spotted English down the floor, launched it to him, and he slammed it to give Beckley a 77-70 lead, 1:56 to go.
Tony, I think one of the situations there, the pass coming down the floor got Freddie Ferguson open for the jump shot, but what Basie did was not rotate at all. Once the ball was shot by Ferguson, everybody attacked the boards, and that freed the outlet pass with nobody back covering on defense, and you got the easy slam. The other situation was the great plays by Daniels, a shot and then the steal.
Fred Persinger over on the far side of the court. Fred?
Tony Caridi just behind the bench listening in on the Martinsburg huddle. Dave Rogers very explicit in his instructions. He said, gentlemen, look at the clock. We trail by 7. We want to drive toward the basket, try and draw the foul. If we can't do that, then we're going to have to pick somebody out and start fouling. The game is getting too close to the end, and we're behind by too much. Back to you.
The Beckley fans are on their feet here at the Civic Center. The crowd of 8,831 watching this game. Martinsburg will have possession, down by 7. Smokey Grantham will inbound in the backcourt to Marcellus Basie. Remember, he's out there with 4 fouls. Basie up top. Between the legs, he'll try a 3 from out front. No good. Rebound, Spencer Ferguson. Takes it out of the paint. Brings it back up top. Right side pass, Freddie Ferguson. His corner jumper in and out. No good. Rebound, Staples of Beckley. He gives over to Tink Brown. Beckley leads 77-70. 1:38 and counting. Ball loose, and we've got a whistle and a foul call against Spencer Ferguson. It looked as though Ferguson had the ball cleanly, and they call a foul. That would have sent Marcellus Basie down the floor all alone for an easy bucket.
Boy, it did frustrate him. It looked like the play was made. Basie was out. He was all the way down the other end, jumped up in frustration.
1:36 to play. Tink Brown now with a chance to give his team a 9-point lead. They lead it 77-70. Shot is up, around, no good. Rebound, Freddie Ferguson. Ferguson over midcourt. Ferguson pulls up, 16-footer, again off the mark. Rebound, Dokes underneath. He is fouled with 1:28 left.
And what that does is stop the clock for Martinsburg High School. The final 1:28. They're going to have to pick their people and choose to foul. Beckley will win this basketball game at the foul line or lose it at the foul line.
Take a look at these Martinsburg kids, and you don't see them affected by the 7-point deficit. They just seem to be confident at this point, even though there's only 1:28 left. Inbound comes up high to Spencer Ferguson. Works it right over to Smokey Grantham. He'll try a 3. It's up, no good. And the Bulldogs have gone cold. Beckley leads by 7. 1:15 and counting. The pass up ahead to Chris Daniels. Daniels is fouled with 1:12 left by Freddie Ferguson. A tremendous second half here by Beckley's Chris Daniels. He's got 11 points, 21 in the ball game, but really it was a streak where he scored 9 straight points. That put Beckley on top at this point. They have not looked back since. Martinsburg in the 4th quarter, 6 of 20 from the field. Daniels' foul shot is up and good. He'll have the bonus on the 1-and-1.
Well, Chris Daniels is a guy that playing with some pain, but he's a smart player, Tony. He really finds the open areas of the defense, and his players and his teammates have done a good job of getting him the ball.
Second one, no good. Rebound, Dokes. Bulldogs down by 8. Basie up the floor, fires a 3 right side, good. 78-73, a 5-point game. Exactly 1 minute to play. Smokey Grantham up top, fouls Kevin English with 58 seconds left. That's Grantham's 3rd personal, and now Kevin English will step up to the line. He's 4 of 4 from the free throw line tonight. Beckley leads it by 5, 78-73.
And Martinsburg's going to need some misses and then to come down and throw up some 3s to make it go.
English, a 6'4" senior forward with 20 points tonight. At the foul line to our left. It's in the air, it's up, it's no good. Rebound Martinsburg. Basie over midcourt. Basie fires up a 3, no good. Rebound Daniels. 45 seconds to play in the game. They're after Tink Brown, and they foul him with 44 seconds left.
Can't let the time run off the clock now, down 5. You take the foul no matter who it's on. You don't look for anybody in particular. You just go get the man with the ball, the offense.
Well, Beckley had a chance there to make it a 2-point game, but his three-pointer was strong off the back iron.
Well, his shots usually, you look at his three-point, he's a very strong kid. He doesn't shoot it from the college three-point. He shoots it from the NBA three-point. Shoots it way out, and I think he does that because he doesn't want to go right into the defense, Tony, and he takes a deeper shot.
Tink Brown makes the front end of the 1-and-1. Beckley leads 79-73, 44 seconds left. Second one by Brown is up and in. Here comes Beckley. Bulldogs down by 7. Beckley slicing to the bucket and loses the ball out of bounds over the end line. Beckley basketball with 39 seconds to play. The fans are on their feet. The Beckley bench is on its feet. Inbounds comes to Daniels. Ahead to Tink Brown. Brown over midcourt. Brown against Grantham, bowls him over. They're going to call a blocking foul against Smokey Grantham. And that will send Tink Brown right back to the foul line. And now we've got some debris thrown onto the court. That foul call against Beckley, or I should say against Martinsburg, Smokey Grantham, that's his 5th. He's out of the ball game. (80-73) is our score. Tink Brown, 23 points on the night, has a chance to ice this one here. Eric Johnson will come in place of Smokey Grantham. Dave Rogers tells Johnson on a made bucket down the other end, I want a timeout immediately. Brown's foul shot up good. (81-73). Beckley Woodrow Wilson within 33 seconds of their first state championship since 1967. Brown's second one, no good. Dokes rebounds to Spencer Ferguson. Spencer Ferguson fires up a 3, no good. Rebound knocked out by Chris Daniels of Beckley. Martinsburg will have it back with 26 seconds left, down by 8.
The three-point shot, Tony, unable to get him back in this basketball game.
Inbounds Beckley, corner jump shot for 3, no good. Rebound tipped in by Freddie Ferguson, and with 21 seconds to play, Martinsburg calls timeout, down by 6, 81-75. Martinsburg has had their chances to get back into this game. However, the three-pointers just were not falling.
We know high school kids, and sometimes you get involved and you look up at that clock and you think 58 seconds is 10 seconds. And you think you got to really release that 3 as quickly as possible. And sometimes coaches are unable to really even control it, Tony, where you look at the clock and they're only down 6 right now with 21 seconds left. They were behind maybe 7 with 58 seconds on the clock. They could have gone inside and even come back and fouled. And they'd been right back in the ball game because Dokes has been standing in there wide open, and so has Grantham. But they elected to arc from the 3-point.
I think that's an excellent point. That's an excellent point. The fact that they went for the 3 too quickly. Fred Persinger is over on the far side of the court. Fred?
Tony Caridi, Dave Barksdale's instructions are very simple. Get open, go long, make sure you make yourself available for the pass coming in. No fouls, grab the basketball on the missed shots, and then the last thing he said to them, you're 21 seconds away from something you've worked hard all year long for. Go get it.
Martinsburg will have possession of the basketball. No doubt they're going to try to set a screen open to get a 3. That could bring them to within 3. Beckley will have possession of the basketball. Let me correct myself. Beckley's English inbounds to Daniels. Daniels fires up ahead to Kidd. Back to English. 16 seconds and counting. English fires to Kidd. And Kidd, with 12 seconds, is fouled. A 1-and-1 coming up here for Brian Kidd.
Very good job, Beckley, out of that timeout of spreading the court. They ran 9 seconds off of that clock with only 12 left by handling the basketball and keeping the ball moving at all times.
We've got a wall of humanity to our left. The entire Beckley student section has lined itself up along the far side end line, and they are ready to storm this floor. Brian Kidd at the foul line. Shot is up, in and around, no good. Rebound, Freddie Ferguson to Beckley. Basie tries up a 35-footer, no good, out of bounds, 5 seconds to play, and Beckley now 5 seconds away from a Class AAA state championship.
Boy, these fans are going to come out. Good.
81.
Better say goodbye to Fred Persinger. We might not see him again.
81-75. Kevin English inbounds in the Beckley backcourt, gets it in to Brian Kidd. He's fouled by Johnson with 4 seconds to play. And now it's just a matter of the final buzzer. Beckley leads by 6 with 4 ticks of the clock remaining. Dave Barksdale standing along the far side. His club came into this state tournament, knocked off Morgantown. That was expected, but no one expected them to pound Logan like they did last night, 92-64. And now they lead number 2 rated Martinsburg, 81-75. Kidd's foul shot up, no good. Rebound Freddie Ferguson, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. It's all over. The Flying Eagles of Beckley Woodrow Wilson have won the 1990 Class AAA state championship by a final score of 81-75. The Beckley student section has stormed the floor in celebration. Chris Daniels, the talented guard, has been put up on someone's shoulders. He's holding his finger high in the air with number 1 waving as Beckley has won its first state championship since 1967. Our final score, once again, 81-75. We'll be back to hear from Beckley coach Dave Barksdale in just a moment. We'll be back after this word from Rax.
Nobody stacks up to Rax.
Hi, I'm Kelly from Rax, the place with a wide variety of roast beef sandwiches, telling you about 3 melts for your mouth. Especially the new Mex Melt, the sandwich that made Mexico famous. It's a mucho grande, satisfying sandwich with tender roast beef, tangy salsa, cheddar cheese sauce, lettuce, and tomato. There's also our Philly melt with sauteed vegetables and the mushroom melt with mushrooms and Swiss. Now listen to our mariachi jingle, then try something delicioso.
Nobody stacks up to Rax. Not Mickey D, not RB, not BK, no way, Jose. Nobody stacks up to Rax.
All right, so there wasn't a mariachi jingle, but the Rax Mix Melt, Philly Melt, and Mushroom Melt are still the tastiest sandwiches north of the border.
Nobody stacks up to Rax.
Running a small hardware store isn't always easy, but I'm a person who likes to do things his own way, so it's perfect for me. Like most West Virginians, I love company. And with a hardware store, old friends drop by all the time. I never could have bought this place without the help of my bank, or without the support of my friends.
For everyone who's ever dreamed they could make a difference, now there's one bank that can help. One Valley Bank, the one bank for all of West Virginia. Member FDIC.
If you think a career-oriented education can make a difference in your future, you're right. Just ask any graduate of West Virginia Tech. They'll tell you that the best jobs go to the people who are prepared for them in college. And that's what Tech is all about. Tech is a career-oriented college with your future in mind. So whether you're interested in engineering, printing, computer science, or any of Tech's 63 programs, you can be sure that your future is in good hands. As a West Virginia Tech grad, you'll be in demand. And isn't that what it's all about?
Back at the Charleston Civic Center Coliseum, where the Flying Eagles of Beckley Woodrow Wilson have just won the 1990 Class AAA State Championship, 81-75 over Martinsburg. Let's turn things over now for our award ceremony to Frank Blake.
On behalf of the Board of Control, the Board of Appeals, and the West Virginia Secondary School Activities Commission staff, we want to thank everyone for being a part of this 1990 West Virginia Boys State Basketball Tournament. On November 13th, 1989, all teams in the state were equal, and each had the opportunity to be where these teams are right now. So it's a great honor to have come this far, and we want each of the participating teams to know that it deserves the respect and admiration of everyone throughout the state of West Virginia. The National Federation of State High School Associations motto is that athletics is the other half of education. The West Virginia Secondary School Activities Commission would like to take that a little further by saying that we feel that athletics also help provide the discipline, integrity, and courage that are necessary to cope with the problems in life. Now we would like to recognize Mr. Tom Kidd, Steve Baldwin, and Don Knotts, West Virginia Secondary School Activities Commission Board of Appeals members, who will present the awards to these outstanding basketball teams. The first award will be the Sportsmanship Award, and the winner is South Charleston High School.
Beckley has just won the state title, 81-75.
The next award will be for the best cheering section.
Awards
and the winner is Woodrow Wilson High School.
Another title goes to Beckley High School. Great support from the Beckley fans and a great deal to cheer about here tonight.
And now your all-tournament team. From Woodrow Wilson High School, Kevin English.
No question about that selection. English had 28 in the quarterfinals, 29 in the semifinals, 20 tonight.
Good inside-outside player.
From Logan High School, Jeff Miller.
Very talented guard who had a great game in a losing cause last night. Over 30 points for Miller.
Only a junior, and it's a real good two-guard prospect, I think.
From South Charleston High School, Brian Thaxton.
Great opening effort in the quarterfinals against Logan. He had 30-plus point performance. He's another talented junior here in the state of West Virginia.
And I don't think we saw him at his best. He had flu during that game he was in, but he's a banger and plays physical.
From Martinsburg High School, Spencer Ferguson.
Always consistent.
Well, going to UMBC, I think he's great. I think he and Basie teamed up for 3 years and just did a super job. Great
From
together.
Woodrow Wilson High School, Glenn Staples.
It was Staples' 27-point performance last night against Logan that was really a key to that
From
victory.
Wheeling Park High School, Bill Reed.
And Bill Reed, the all-time leading rebounder at Wheeling Park High School, who did a nice job last night in his team's semifinal loss to Martinsburg. And there you have it, the all-tournament
From
team.
Martinsburg High School, Marcellus Basie.
Very dejected Marcellus Basie finished up tonight with 21 points.
Well, his career's ahead of him, Tony. You look down the Martinsburg side.
And from
some of these kids
Woodrow
are finished.
Wilson High School, Tink Brown.
Tink Brown, 24 points tonight, leading Beckley to the state title, 81-75 over Martinsburg.
Can do it all as a point guard.
Say he's a great kid. Takes a big smile there as he picks up his all-tournament team plaque. So you've got 3 players out there from Beckley, 2 from Martinsburg, 1 from Wheeling Park.
This
and
is
1
your
from South
1990 Class AAA all-tournament team.
Brown, Staples, and English from Beckley, Ferguson and Basie from Martinsburg, Reed from Wheeling Park, Thaxton from South Charleston. You're listening to Metro News coverage of the 1990 77th West Virginia Boys Basketball Tournament. Beckley has just won the Class AAA title, 81-75 over Martinsburg. Awards presentation will be continuing now. We'll have the runner-up trophies and the championship trophy awarded here. And we'll also have head coach Dave Barksdale of Beckley Woodrow Wilson coming up.
Now we would like to present the individual awards to the runner-up team from Martinsburg High School. Please step forward at this time to receive your individual awards.
Here come the Bulldogs. They'll be picking up their runner-up trophy. It's been a very bittersweet time at the state tournament for this Martinsburg team as sophomores. They came in and nearly shocked the state as sophomores coming in and making it to the championship game, losing in overtime to Huntington last year, beaten by eventual champion Oak Hill in the quarterfinal round, and now tonight losing in the championship game to Beckley. A tough time for seniors Basie, Ferguson, Dokes, Grantham. Eric Johnson also played quality minutes for this team. Freddie Ferguson will be back next year. But it was a senior-laden team that had hoped to bring that championship back to the Eastern Panhandle, and they fall short. Dave Rogers goes out now on the floor to pick up the runner-up trophy.
And now with the team captains from Martinsburg High School, please come forward to receive the runner-up trophy.
Individual plaques have been given out, and now Spencer Ferguson encourages his other 4 starting members of this Martinsburg team to go pick up the runner-up trophy. Very dejected time for these kids.
And now with the members of the Woodrow Wilson High School team step forward to receive the individual championship awards.
Here come the Flying Eagles. They make their way around the awards table. Each pick up a plaque. Unofficial individual scoring. Tink Brown with 24 points. Chris Daniels with 22. Kevin English with 20. Glenn Staples with 10. Brian Kidd with 3. So you had balanced scoring there. Jay Jacobs from Beckley.
Well, we did, but I think one of the things that I thought iced the game was the technical fouls. Tony, there were 7 there, and that was a big part of this game, and they were all made by Daniels. And you know, we look up at the scoreboard, you put 7 on that 75, buddy, and you're looking at what, 82, 81. A big part of this game.
Technical fouls, there were 2 of them called against Martinsburg players, and certainly, Jay, I think that should be pointed out that they were committed at crucial times. Whether or not they were deserved will be long talked about, but nonetheless they were, and they did play a role in the outcome of this game. Now the championship trophy about to be presented.
Tell you, Dave Barksdale.
And now, with pride and pleasure, we would like to present the Class AAA West Virginia Boys Basketball Championship Trophy and game ball to Woodrow Wilson High School.
There's the trophy being held high into the air. And we'll be back with Woodrow Wilson coach Dave Barksdale when we return to Charleston with a final comment. This is the Metro News Radio Network.
To everyone, we express our sincere thanks for being a part of this 1990 Boys Basketball Championship Tournament. Thanking you for helping set a paid attendance all-time record of 72,475. We look forward to seeing you for the 1991 tournament. Thank you and have a safe trip home.